Hey guys, welcome back to Ariana Makes, where we make it. If you can make it, why not make it? I say, it saves you money, it saves the environment, and it's sustainable. We always have certain things on hand, and none of the things that I show on this channel are impossible to do or make. I am not a seamstress, I am not a chef, nor am I a candle maker or a broomstick maker. I am just one woman who happens to like to work with my hands and take what I see in my head or taste in my head and translate that out. Today we're going to be doing a sleep bonnet. So I am going to show you how we do that. If you're ready, let's go. All right. So we're just going to take a small piece of fabric. It's about 18 inches by 25 inches. We're going to find the selvages of our fabric. If your fabric happens to have a selvage, we're going to fold that in half. And then we're going to take that half and we're going to fold that in half until we have a square. This is so simple. You can really get through this project within an afternoon. You do, however, need some tools. You need some basic math skills if you don't have a calculator. And when I say basic, I mean so basic. Multiplication and division, and you really only need division. Fold your fabric in half. Okay? You're going to take the measurement of your head around. So let me show you that. So find the beginning of your measuring tape. If you do not have measuring tape at home, that is okay. If you have a string, that works too. Take the measurement. My head measures 20 and a half each and every time. And that's the circumference. That's the circumference of my head. To get the diameter, you just D equals C divided by 2, which is diameter equals the circumference divided by 2. 20 and a half divided by 2 is just going to give me 10.25. So those are the only two measurements you need for this entire project. See? So simple already. I'm going to show you how do you do that, with or without a pattern. Okay, so it is here that I realized upon editing that something was causing my camera to shake. So here I'm just taking my jersey fabric, cutting along the greatest stretch, which is going to be shoulder to shoulder. Because I like a thicker band, I'm going to cut it at 4 inches wide. That'll give me 2 inches on each side. From there, I'm going to use that diameter once again. Remember, all we needed was one measurement, the circumference, and from the circumference we could find the diameter. Because my head is 20 and a half, the diameter of my head is 10.25. And so we're going to half that, and that's going to give me 5.15. I'm just going to round that up to 5.25, and bingo, watla, shingo. There we go. Not really that difficult. Like I said, you just need a couple basic math skills and you'll be fine. Yeah, what I didn't tell you guys was this was actually the second bonnet that I made for the day. So if the camera work is shaky, Alright, we're at our machine. This is the second one I've done today. Alright, make sure you have enough bobbin thread and everything else that you need. On the top, because I do like that thread I have in the bobbin, it's a really nice denim color. It's actually the same kind of denim that they use for jeans. But here we go. Let's start sewing. 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. Okay, make sure you get all your loose threads. I also go the extra mile and I open that seam up. I find that it lays just that much better if I go back and I stitch right in that ditch here. It's hard. Let me see if I can adjust. Where we just sewed, we're going to stitch right in that seam. And that helps it lay down. So next you're going to take your tube that you've just created and you're going to fold that in half again, lengthwise now. Yeah. We did it first widthwise. If you need to put a clip in there, put a clip. I do. Or a pin if you have that. I remember when I first started sewing, I underestimated the power of clips and bands and all that other fun stuff. They're lifesavers. They truly are. Love them. I don't function without them anymore. And so I'm going to seal that up. And I try to make sure I have everything captured. Okay? I do. So what I'll do is I'll come back around like that. And I'll make sure that everything is captured the way I need it to be captured. Okay? Flipping it, making sure. And then I sew the edge. And I just give that just a really wide basting, and then that way I don't have to work so hard. Okay, so we're gonna widen our length here. Did I just wipe my nose? I did. We're gonna widen our length on our machine, and then we're going to stitch a baste. The whole point of this step here is I like to make my life easier. If I have to spend a couple more pennies on a thread, I will. I'm cool with that. I'm not rolling in the dough, but I can afford thread. So here we're just going to make sure it's even. And we're going to just give it a quick stitch. Yep, make sure it's all there. Cut your extra threads. And then we're going to go on to the next trip. The next trick that we're going to do, I like doing it at this stage. We're going to fold our circle. We're going to fold it into fourths, quarters, okay? And then we're going to snip and clip, which is another reason why I like that stay stitch. Now, I tell people all the time, keep your vertice out of the way. Don't mess with your vertice. Your vertice is off limits. Okay? And so to make sure I get an even clip and snip, I snip here in the fold where these two meet. And I go right to the stay stitch. Then I flip it over and I go to the side that is opposite of the vertice and I clip a chunk out of the corner. Okay, so that way when I open it up, I have a top, a bottom, and I have a side. Okay? Trust me, you'll understand why. I take our tube that we've made, I fold that in half. Once again, I leave that vertex alone. I don't mess with it because I have a tendency to walk away from things. And I'm just going to snip a corner out of that. And now I have my top and bottom. Okay. From there, right side to right side, we're going to take our clips and we're going to clip the top to the bottom that we just did. Right here. We're going to do our top to bottom. Then we're going to find our snips. And our snips came halfway. Now I don't snip the band. I don't snip it. I only snip the top. If you feel more comfortable snipping the band, please, definitely do. I mean, this is about you. So now I've got my corners. I've got 4 sides. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to stretch, and then I'm going to put half and half. Half to one side, half to another. Okay? I have half. And I just tuck that in. This is where you're all about halving. Because you're going to keep halving and halving and halving. And that way you have even distribution of your bonnet. The bonnet will fit you perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're just snipping and clipping. Actually, we're not clipping any longer. We're halving and putting our halves together. Going around. You'll have quite a few clips. Don't make the mistake I did when I first started sewing. I was like, I'm not going to put all these. I don't feel like putting all these pins and clips in there. And after a while, I realized that I got tired of wasting material because it shifted on me, or this, that, and the other. Okay, looks no good to me. So you're going to end up with something that looks like that. We're going to take it over to our machine and we're going to sew.
Okay. So make sure everything is caught. You know, that's where you saw me fiddling with it and just playing with it. Sometimes, you know, these clips, they're great. I prefer my pins. But, you know, if you like them, then great. You know, they work for me on some things and for some fabrics. Not all fabrics and not all things. Okay, the last step that I do for my bonnets is I take a stitch and I go right in that ditch. Yep, that's what I do. So we're going to do that, and then guess what? Your bonnet will be done. You're all caught. Your bonnet is done. Let's give me the right type of stretch. Let's try it on. Like, seriously, if you can make it, why buy it? I am of the opinion there's nobody too rich to be poor. Make it. You know, you use coupons. Don't you consider this a coupon that you have in your house? You always have some kind of fabric hanging around. You just need a little bit of time, scissors, a needle thread, and some pins. And boom, bam, bing. You can make yourself a sleep bonnet. I make these almost once a week for me and my daughter. My son, we have curly hair, and this way we get to have an array of them. Yep. Oh, it's a Frenchie! Alright, so if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button so you can get notified when I make another video. I take hiatuses. I have health issues that sometimes make my hands not work, and just, what are you gonna do? You know, I have arthritis. And so I have RA, so there's nothing they can really do. It's autoimmune. And I have lupus, so if one thing's not bothering me, sometimes there's another thing. But, alrighty. So, that's our DIY for the day. How you like it? This is made for your head, your preferences. Like I said, I like a bigger band. And then I don't like my ears covered. But that's my preference. However, you see these tiny ears? What'd you say? Why? Alright. You know this part. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Hit the notifications if you want to be notified the next time I upload a video. I might be doing food, I might be doing crafting, I might be doing something, but I'm always going to be doing something. So, until next time. Bye.